Hello everyone, this is Rob from Access and I am in the back of a van with Troy Baker. Hello, how are you, Troy?
I'm great, and this is probably the coolest and most unique location for an interview.
I was about
ever.
to say, it's really, really comfy.
I just
actually,
popped
as well.
off here to kind of nod off for a little bit, and then people started coming in, so it's been fun.
As you probably know, Troy is the voice and face of Delsin Rowe from InFAMOUS Second Son, and that's kind of the first thing I want to ask you. You've lent your voice to loads of video game characters across the years, but your face has a very prominent role in InFAMOUS Second Son as well. How is that for you as an actor? Is it exciting to finally get I guess it allows you to give more of a performance than you've ever been able to give before in a video game?
Well, I mean, definitely what we've seen, we've seen games evolve from a gameplay perspective, from a graphics perspective, from a physics perspective, and now what we're seeing is games are really starting to develop from a narrative and a characterization standpoint as well. And so we've seen that kind of that voice actor role morph into more of it's the full performance capture now, which we worked very, very hard on. Myself, Travis Willingham, Laura Bailey, we put up in the suits, we got the cameras in our faces and everything, and it was something that we captured all in one. So you really start using muscles that maybe you haven't used in a while, both metaphorically and literally. But yeah, this was the first time ever that Sucker Punch really pushed the boundaries of what they could do game-wise, and they brought the same kind of philosophy into the performance as well. And yeah, to see that's my face, on the cover box, everything, it's incredible how they were able to capture that one-to-one and put that into the game. It's really pretty incredible.
And does it make you feel like more proud? Like are you more excited that people are going to finally see, what you're capable of, like in a whole performance, not just your voice, but they can see how you act with all of your body, like a full performance this time? It's
a slippery slope, because what I want, regardless of what the outcome is and whatever the process is, I always want the character to stand out first. So I want Troy to kind of disappear behind Delson, and because it's different than like TV and film, because TV and film is very observational. It's you're a viewer that's looking in on that world. But with a game, you're making those choices, especially in a game like InFAMOUS. It's your decisions that affect the outcome of the story, that also affect the world, that affect the gameplay. So I want people to feel like they are Delson. It's not just me. So you always leave a space where you feel like you fully fleshed out the character, but at the same time you've allowed enough room for that person to come in and kind of fill in those gaps for you.
And how do you go about creating the character? I guess you get the script, you look at the script, but I guess there's got to be more kind of creation, like from your part as well.
Very much so. And the team at Sucker Punch with Nate Fox, Billy Harper especially, were incredibly gracious to us, bringing us into the process and allowing it to be very collaborative. And the script is still being written. You start with a very strong structure, which is what we had, and then you start kind of working on the actual dialogue of that and the actual beats of filling out the beats as we kind of go along. And we went up at the very beginning, Travis and I went up to Sucker Punch and spent the entire weekend with Nate and Billy and really wanted to get the story down and understand who the characters were. And even from the very beginning, they really allowed us to become partners in that collaboration. So once we understood who those characters were, the situations that we put them in, we could respond to because we understood them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And could you give us like a brief insight into the technological process of creating the character? You've got to wear stuff on your face. You've got to wear a suit. Is that distracting, or do you, when you're in the middle of a performance, you just kind of forget it's there? I mean, what is it like to act in that environment?
That's the goal. It's so funny because, like, again, with TV and film, everything that's the makeup, the wardrobe, the hair, the props, those are all tools that help you. And this specific medium, these actually work against you. You have to overcome what you're wearing. You have to overcome the fact that there's a camera in your face. It started, we worked for an entire day doing facial scans and doing like emotive expressions so that the system would recognize when I smile, this is what it looks like. And that was an entire day, and they actually made a plaster mold of our face. So that every time we shot, we'd come in, we'd spend about an hour and a half getting ready. We'd lay down in a makeup chair, they put this mask of our face over our face and make dots on our face. So we had 64, or actually over 64, I think it was like closer to like 85 dots that were on our face. We had 4 cameras right here that we called antlers because they kind of came out on 2 like little things. And then you're wearing this ridiculous spandex suit with shiny disco balls. So yeah, when you're looking at someone, you have to kind of, it's almost like the Matrix. You have to like just, see past and go to the code. It definitely becomes a process you have to overcome. But again, that's when you get really talented people in that understand their characters, and this all just disappeared.
You were talking about player choice as well, and I guess one of the key choices you can make in Infamous is whether you want to play as a good guy with superpowers or as a bad guy with superpowers. And I guess for you have to act both scenarios. So what are the challenges there of trying to keep the character the same, but also you've got to, maybe do one half as a nice man and one half you're really evil.
This was the first thing that we really wanted to nail, because I'm a fan of the Infamous series as well, so I understood going in that I kind of came preloaded with that information, knowing, okay, I understood and there was something with Cole that I wanted to do something different. This is a new hero, so we could approach it from a fresh perspective, but still make it feel like it's an Infamous game. And for me, it was defining what good and evil meant. And to me, that doesn't mean, either a halo on one guy and horns on the other, but it's more about what was your motivation for this? Is it selfish or is it selfless? And so that's kind of the Bible that I used to make those decisions. So it did feel like the same character. It's kind of there, but for the grace of God, you can make these choices, and this guy's a dick, this guy's a hero, but those two definitions can be, just one decision away from each other, So it was once you have that understanding, you can really kind of move in the freedom of that. And fortunately, we were given enough latitude by Nate and the team to kind of explore what that meant.
Fantastic. And just to wrap up now, how would you? I know it's probably quite a big question, but how would you describe Delsin? How what were you able to stamp on him of your own personality? And is he like you at all in real life?
I keep using biblical references. It's crazy, but he's the prodigal son before he leaves, and it's very much of someone who hasn't found who he is as a man yet, and it is all about identity. It's who are you? What does that hero look like? What does that savior look like? And to me, that was the entire journey. Was when someone who is an ordinary person gets put in extraordinary circumstances, and that person that says, if I just had this, I could do that, and then you give them that gun, so to speak. What does that mean for that person? So, and I definitely, there was a lot of me that I was able to put into this, and for good or for bad. Hope you enjoyed it. But it's something that I'm truly proud of, because I feel like we did a great service to the characters and to the story, and I'm glad that I was able to be a part of it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time, Troy.
My pleasure, man.
Talking to you.
Thank you so much.
The game is looking amazing.
Looks pretty good.
Infamous Second Son is out on March the 21st on PS4 only. Make sure you check it out. For loads of other videos on everything PlayStation, hit that subscribe button.